Ready for the under-23 Men's World Cup Cyclo-cross, the first round of racing. Well, we've already seen some great junior racing during today, and we're looking forward to seeing what the men's under-23s has in hold. We're about to get the riders on the start line. A beautiful course here in Tábor. Chilly, very, very cold first thing this morning for the men's junior race, but we're now starting to see the sunshine. Has been out for a little while now. Beautiful blue skies.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now, 3 minutes to the start.
Now -4.
3 minutes to the start.
So it feels like it's all absolutely tropical here now, with the temperature change of 5 degrees since the junior men raced. Still -4. The riders are on the start line. 44 riders from 13 nations, and here's a rundown of who is taking part in today's race. The last moments before we get this race underway, the jackets are being thrown to the helpers at the side of the track. Gus van den Eyden is ready. Roman Debord, the French rider. The Italian champion is here, Stefano Viezzi. Sparfell, the race favourites for sure. Belgian rider next, Kay de Bruckere.
1 minute to
1 minute
the
then
start.
until we get going.
1 minute
They've left it
remaining
very,
to
very
the
late
start.
for them to get those jackets off. Jordi Corsus, Belgian rider. And Václav Ječek. Final rider on the front row of the grid is David Haverdings, 11th in the World Cup last year.
Ladies and gentlemen, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
The riders are on the start line. We're on red. We wait for green. Underway in the men's under-23 World Cup Cyclo-cross. A very, very fast start. Massive acceleration in the middle. Who's going to get through this corner first? And a real tussle there, but it's Václav Ječek who gets through first. Motivated by the home crowd, the Czechia rider. Very, very fast through those first couple of turns then. And a long line of riders from these 13 nations as they all grapple to try and stay in the slipstream, hoping that no one in front of them will make a little mistake. You need to be near the front in this race. No problem there for the Belgian rider. The initial stages, it is the Czechia rider who's really pushing the pace now. So Vácek leads. See what the opening first lap is going to be. And it's Urban Sparfell who takes over at the front. He's a very talented young rider, Sparfell. Oh, and a problem at the back there for Matti Havel. He is off the bike, had a little bit of a tumble. So it's the Frenchman who leads, the 19-year-old. I love that shot, don't you, with the riders going up and down across that whole section. You're at the back, this is a horrible moment. So up the steps for the first time. Fell, lovely pedaling style, this rider, the way he rides, very relaxed. 19 years of age, he's already promising big things, and right now there are some very talented young French riders coming through. Let's see whether Václav Jacek can stay near the front of this race today for the Czechia team. Lovely if he managed to. A group of riders starting to go away at the front, maybe 7 or 8 riders who have emerged at the head of this race. Mike Haverdings has gone to the front now for the Dutch squad. Through the leafy section. Still many riders are in contention up at the front. The early sections stretching things out. Kay de Brucker goes up the steps, so does Kaya Solon, who's a lot further back than we might have anticipated. So it's the Dutch rider now at the front, Gus van den Eyden. He's setting the tempo for everybody else to follow right now. Like he's setting a nice pace. 10th in the World Cup last year, van den Eyden. His way down this little drop-off. This section is a little bit easier to ride than it was before. It was very slippy very early this morning. Seems okay now. And this rider's now having problems. Maximilian Kerl, the Czechia rider, going all the way towards the back of the race. Here's van den Eyden. Acceleration, looks like everything's starting to settle down towards the front as riders manage to get themselves into the slipstream. Sparfell wants the front position as he accelerates away. Ups the jumps nicely. You would expect most of this front group of riders to be bunny hopping those jumps over those hurdles nicely. Fell wants to push this pace on quite a lot, doesn't he? Jordi Corsus is the Belgian rider who's up there. Looks in a comfortable position in second place. Let's take a little look here from this aerial shot as to what's happening. Eyden out the saddle quite a lot, isn't he? Just trying to put the pace on a little bit more. The Italian champion is moving up, Stefano Viezzi. One of the race favourites for sure in this race. Viezzi just trying to get himself up towards the front now. He's taking a moment. He makes up a couple of places through that turn in the Italian champion's colours. course, Van den Eyden pushing on now. The Belgian rider, Jordi Kossus, trying to squeeze through there in that turquoise-coloured kit in third place. And challenged still by Václav Jacek. He's having a great race. Number 2 on the front. Still everybody in contention at the head of this race. Maybe, what, 20-odd riders who are still there. The odd mistake being made. So downhill after 7 minutes of racing. Settling in now. We make our way out of that. Another big acceleration at the front from the Belgian rider. Number 3 there is David Haverdings. It's the Belgian rider now who's just trying to see what the situation is, see who's got the legs. Stefano Viezzi, the Italian, one of the race favourites in this race in that green-sleeved kit with the white and the red, the Tricolore of Italy. So pushing the pace on now, Jordi Kossus. 4th in the World Cup last year, comes up to the end of the first lap. The end of lap number 1, 3.46 kilometres completed. And the accelerations happen as they go through. 8:10 the opening lap. It was Jacek who was the first rider across the line. Fast opening lap, but only 2 seconds faster than the men's juniors. In fact, when you look through, the men's juniors went off at 7:57 once you'd adjusted the opening lap. So just shows a steady opening lap from the under-23 riders, which is probably why everybody is still in contention, still many riders at the head of the race. Check out the saddle again, and Viezzi wants to try and see whether the pace could just be ratcheted up a little bit more. Viezzi has signed for the Alpecin de Koenig development team, the Italian at the front, only 19 years of age. Oh, and a problem there. Oscar Amy hits the deck. There's the twists and turns of this little section as they go up and down over this little bank at the side of the track. Perfect position, because we've got the hospitality and a position to watch up there on the building. So up the steps again for the second time. Viezzi wants to make this a little bit harder. Well, last year's World Cup was won, of course, by Thibaut Del Grosso, the Dutch rider. He took 160 points over the 6 rounds. He won 5 of the rounds in total. An absolutely dominant performance by the Dutch rider. Inti Michaels was in second. He won the first round of racing. Robin Sparfelt, who's in here for France, was 3rd overall last year. Had some good performances, particularly towards the end of the season. He took 2/3 and a 2nd in the rounds of the World Cup. Finished in 3rd. He was 58 points behind Thibaut Del Grosso, who had absolutely dominated. Jordi Kossus was in 4th place, the Belgian rider. He finished on 95 points. He had a couple of good places, a 2nd place in round 4, a 4th place in the last round, and a 4th place in round number 1. And a number of these riders who are in here have featured in this World Cup before. Two of the top four last year, Albin Sparfell and Jordi Kussus, finishing in a good place last year and here yet again, and they want to win this World Cup. Stefano Vietti, the Italian who's pushing the pace at the front, he was 7th overall in the World Cup last year. Vietti, good performance in the last round, he finished in 3rd place. Then won the Junior World Championships in 2024, just before that. Sparfell is tucked in on his wheel. He knows the danger here. Vaclav 27th in the World Cup last year, sitting there in 3rd place, so he's making strides forward. Down this little drop off. Thanks very much for joining us for this 3rd race of the day. I'm Ant McCrossan. If you'd like to join me, please do on social media. Take a few of your questions during the race. If you'd like to follow at UCI_cycling as well, then please do. Well, ahead of the race as they go over the hurdles. Such a hard little section this, isn't it, where you've got the uphill and then straight onto the hurdles, and one rider, I've heard, is deciding that it's better to actually run that section. So still a real move at the front from these riders as we see Vietti, Sparfell, Vaclav, all still near the front. A bit of shoulders as these riders try to put themselves. Vaclav Vietti, sorry, is the Czechia rider. He's up there, a little bit of shoulders touching as they go through that section. Vietti, you can see that he wants to just try and keep this momentum going. It's a style very like Mathieu van der Poel in many ways, the way he sits on the bike. He's riding for the Alpsender-Koenig development team, so maybe it's no surprise there. It's difficult to pick a winner from this group of riders because there are some real talent in here. Look at Sparfell, for example, the 2nd place rider, finished in the points jersey in the Giro Next Generation. He's won Alpe d'Huez. He's going to ride for the Decathlon development team next season, and then he'll move to the World Tour team to the end of 2028. He's already been signed for the next few years. Such is the way that things are going. Still the Italian pushing the pace. The opening lap then has been adjusted to an 8:10 for Vaclav Vietti. It's the fastest lap so far. His average speed 24.2. Van den Burg is the 2nd fastest rider on that first lap with a 24.19 km/h lap. And he's now moving up and is involved in the action here. There's number 13. He's the 3rd place rider you can see. We're going to have a 6-lap race. That's been confirmed. 1 lap longer than the men's junior race, and we're coming up to complete lap number 2 already. There's a lot of checking around right now. 4 laps to go.
So the lead,
that was a much faster lap. An 8:03 from Vietzi. Fastest lap of the race so far. In fact, the Belgian riders are coming back, have set slightly faster times. 8:02s for Til de Brouwer. Slightly faster than Vietzi, and in fact, Vietzi's lap there is only the 6th fastest lap. A little bit of a push at the front now. Still a belief you can see from maybe, I think there's probably around about 10 or 11 riders in contention here. Difficult little section.
Je to startovní číslo 24 Krištof Pažán, který opravdu nemá daleko, aby se tam dostal.
A little bit of an acceleration now from the Dutch rider as Spartan tries to go with him. Vietzi, oh, and a fall for the Czech rider. That's a shame for him. He's been riding so well. Where Vietchek hits the deck, and it's sore when you hit the deck here with this temperature starting at -9 and now at -4. Well, thanks all of you for joining us. This is round number 1 of the UCI Under-23 Men's World Cup. David Haverdings decided to take on the pace a little bit now. Now we're getting a little quartet slightly off the front with Vietzi, and Arthur van den Boer is just on the back of that quartet now. This is one of those disciplines where you really need to just keep the faith all the time. And that was that crash of Vietchek. Quickly back on the bike, but not a good place with this uphill section, losing momentum. Quartet at the front now. Haverdings, Sparfell, Stefano Vietzi and Arthur van den Boer. The Belgian rider right on the back. Steps, and Haverdings on the front, rides for the Baloise Glowy Lions, 21 years of age, comes from Roinen in the Netherlands. Had some good results on the road already, the Dutch rider. Pushing the pace a little bit more. So the team of Sven Nys, he's a member of, finished second in the Tour de Namur, which is a national level race on the road. He's ridden with that Baloise Trek Lions team since 2023. He's comfortable at the front of this race now as he takes Sparfell with him.
Stefano Vietzi is a former World Junior Champion from Tábor 2024, so he knows.
Vietzi trying to pedal his way across now. The pits have been relatively quiet, and the only time we've seen them needed pretty much today, they weren't ready.
Your riders are in the first leg of today's race, and in the lead right now.
Over the hurdles again. Still anybody's race. Czech riders are still in with a chance. Our top 10 riders at the moment: David Haverdings of the Netherlands, Aubin Sparfel of France, Stefano Viezzi of Italy, Arthur van den Boer of Belgium, behind him Kay de Bruckere and Jules Simon of France, Victor Vandenberger of Belgium, Christophe Bazant of Czechia, Gus van den Eyden of the Netherlands. Sil de Brouwer is in 10th place. So a good mix of nationalities, but in this race, Belgium are showing their strength in under 23 racing as we see an attack. Big move at the front now and an acceleration to try and draw this group away. This is Kay de Bruckere. Finished 8th last year in the World Cup. This section's quite hard as you make your way kind of up a long power drag. Bruckere last year, he finished 9th in the first round of racing, did finish on the podium in one round, on round number 3. So he's got some palmares as far as the World Cups are concerned, having finished on a podium in one race. We're at the midway section coming up. Things settling down now at the front with Kay de Bruckere setting the pace for Belgium. His teammate just on the back, Arthur van den Boer. The French rider going through, number 18 there is Jules Simon. And with that jersey unzipped, getting a little bit warmer with the amount of force you're having to put through here. Fast through that section. You can't relent at the front because that group of riders that is just behind is not too far away. Fell taken on a gel now. Trying to get a little bit more nutrition into him. The end of lap number 3. 3 laps of racing to go. As it's known now, cycling is now a nutrition game. Sparfel making sure he's fueled up. 3 laps to go. They come through. A fast lap that time. 8:09 was the lap time.
Third lap of today's race. Stefano Viezzi from Italy in time 24 minutes and
Riders just trying to jump their way across. De Moya at 14 seconds, Haverdings at 15 seconds. This is the British rider Oscar Amy, who's in 14th place right now, 24 seconds down. 11 riders in the front group. Oh, and a crash. Another problem for the Czechia rider just as he was taking on the pace, and that's really cost him. Here he is, just maybe forcing it a little bit much today. Viezci, he's just got himself back after that last crash. Not good news for him at all. He's obviously really keen to be seen in front of his home crowd, but just these little forcings when he's in a great position, he's just causing him all sorts of issues today. I noticed that Stybar is here in Tábor. Hasn't been here for years, but he's been posting on his social media about being here. He's enjoying being back at some cyclocross. Stybar was such a big star for this country during his career. Oh, and one rider almost wrapping his bike around the fence. Off Bazan, the Czechia rider, is getting a bit carried away. Once you're at this sort of cold temperature, when you're working this hard, sometimes the brain doesn't quite work the way you're expecting it to. You're right on the limit. Fell again. He's solid on his bike, isn't he? Just looks very, very comfortable. Comes down to a sprint. You wonder whether we'd have the sprint against the likes of Vietti. Let's just see how things unfold. Little overtake just as they went up that little section. Just able to take a little bit of air through there. Well, we will of course bring you the women's race and the men's race. And wherever you're watching, thank you for joining us. It's so great to be able to bring you all of the races here in Tábor today. And if you didn't realise, then go back and watch the junior races because they were pretty special. Another big attack at the front. This is Kay de Bruckera, who tries now to split this race up. Can he now get a little bit of a gap? And a crash there. So many times, little mistakes being made by these riders. They're just getting that little bit carried away. Let's just bear in mind, this is solid, this ground. Let's take a look then. Dubuquera was on the front. The 21-year-old, he hits the deck. Just a little bit too much speed. Now he's having to chase his way back on as Sparfeld takes control again. Dubuquera, stage winner in the Flèche de Sud, 21 years of age. Sister races as well, Zena Dubuquera. And now Vietzi's going to try and stamp his authority on this race. Everybody grappling for wheels now. The atmosphere in Tábor is growing all the time. Vietzi on the front. He's definitely been spotted as a possible big rider in the future. Alpes de Koning getting his signature to the end of 2026. Comes from San Daniele de Friuli, 19 years of age. A talented, talented bike rider. Now he pushes it on again. 4 riders going slightly clear at this section. The lap time so far, an 8:10, an 8:03 and an 8:09. They've been all over the place. Fastest lap of the race though is Christophe Bazant on lap 3. 8 minutes, 00.8 with an average speed of 24.71 kilometers an hour. Bazant, the rider from Czechia, is riding 11th at the moment. It's again, Václav Ječek is moving up for Czechia. Can he stay on his bike? That's the question. There he is, going through that turn in that light blue, white and red kit. You can't fault him for trying here. He's doing everything he can to try and give Czechia the home victory. Switch and turn their way through this little part of the course now. And on the front is David Haverdings again. Haverdings tries to stretch the pace. Every now and then we get a rider who just wants to split this race up, but so many riders are in here who believe that they can win. Last year, with Del Grosso's performance, they had no chance. He literally dominated every round apart from the first one, taken by Jenti Michaels. But this time, they've got a chance. Haverdings of the Glowy Lions comes through. We end lap number 4 of racing. Got 2 more laps to go. Let's see what the lap time is going to be. A group of riders at the front. There's about 10 riders in here, maybe 11. They go across the line. 2 laps to go. It's an 8:16 lap, a much slower lap that time. So things have calmed down. Still the Brouwer, he's at the front. So let's run through the top group of riders. Sil de Brouwer of Belgium, Gus van den Eyden of the Netherlands, Stefano Viezzi of Italy, Orban Sparfeld of France, Arthur de van der Boer of Belgium, David Haverdings of the Netherlands, Victor van den Berger of Belgium, Vaclav Jecek of the Czechia team, and still in contention, Kay de Bruckere and Christophe Bazant. The French rider is just off the back by about 4 seconds, Gilles Simon, and just behind him is Kenny de Moya. Still, what, 12 riders in a chance here of winning this. It's not over yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the race is really interesting. The brilliant battle for the positions in the head of the race.
Right, the closest tussle we've seen so far.
Of the 5 laps.
Sparfeld's decided he needs to just try and keep the pressure on because the gap, the lap times are dropping, which is not good news if you want a fast race. If you'd like to ask any questions today, at Ant McCrossan, at UCI_cycling.
It's not only about the riding and technical skills. You need to be really good in the strategy as well.
So let's see, more riders are coming back, you know. There's going to be around about 12 riders in contention.
Riders in the category.
Who is going to win this?
In the lead right now. It's
right on the front then. Haverdings again is up towards the front, but now the Belgian rider, Arthur van den Boer, decides that he wants to try and push this a little bit harder. Can he start to split this race up a little bit? On the front, Arthur van der Boer, the Belgian rider, 18 years of age. That's for the Galacto Young Lions. Had some good results on the road this year. He just finished second in Limburger's Appeal. He was 10th in Mechelen. He finished 30th in the junior Ronde van Vlaanderen. Still the crowds building the atmosphere, just coming up to 37 minutes of racing. And we still don't know who's going to win this race. Fastest lap, Christophe Bazant, 8 minutes exactly on lap number 3. Pushing the tempo again, the Belgian rider, Arthur van den Boer. Behind him is the Frenchman who looks superb, Van Sparfel. He has been at the front for this entire race and he looks like he's in control. There's our front group of riders on the left-hand side. And there they come out of that little turn, past the pits again. Just instructions coming from the pits. And Van Sparfel goes to the front, decides to try and split this race up again. No one has been able to. That's normally the style of Tábor. It's almost like riding on the road at times. Big acceleration over the hurdles. Sparfel trying to get a gap. Vietzi is cute to this as he tries to get across now. And a problem there for one of the Belgian riders. With some riders starting to hurt at the back. Floris Haverdings is there, number 5. This is the group that contains the Czechia rider who's been involved in a lot of the action. Kind of dropped back now, unfortunately. Václav Ječek, he was up there for so long, but he's had a few crashes today. Coming up towards the end of lap number 5. Take a little look here. Did he have a problem again? Yeah, today's not been his day, has it? Another fall. Václav Ječek, how many times has he been on the deck? So desperately wants to perform, you can tell, in front of his home crowd, but he's just forcing it a little bit too much. Coming up to 40 minutes of racing. At -4 degrees now, this hurts the lungs and it hurts the legs. Sparfel ups the tempo again. We're going to see him in the World Tour in 2027 on the road. France are starting to produce some possible winners on the road now, aren't they? With Paul Sextus and this rider, Van Sparfel, and others that we're seeing now emerge. The future of French cycling, if they can just keep themselves without getting that pressure that they all feel when everyone thinks you can win the Tour de France, we might actually see someone do it. And another problem for the Czechia rider, the teammate of Ječek, Christophe Bazant, the fastest lap rider of this race. 6 riders in that group at the front, a couple of riders coming across now. Number 2 there is Gus van den Eyden, 20 years of age, comes from Hemond, in the Paris-Roubaix Espoir. So Sparfel, can he get just at least a little group off the front? If he can just get at least the 3 riders, he'll know that he's going to finish on the podium, and I think that's his tactic right now, but everybody is just hanging on. We're going to see a group of maybe 9 riders sprinting for the win if this continues like this. See, glances over his shoulder, wondering how many riders are there. And we come up to the bell. And it's Vietzi who's going to lead this time at the end of lap number 5 in this under-23 World Cup race here in Czechia. Vietzi checks. 1 lap of racing to go. And it's an 8:13 lap that time. And Christophe Bazin is trying desperately to put himself back into the group. 3 more riders coming across. Kenny De Moya, Gilles Simon, Floris Haverdings. So 1 more lap of racing to go. About 8 minutes to decide who takes the first round of racing. Still the fastest lap is 8 minutes 00.8. The average speed 24.71 kilometers an hour on that lap. The Belgian riders are all together. Arthur van den Boer, Kees de Broekere and Victor van den Berger are all there as Vietzi stamps on the pedals and tries to get away. Bazant almost there. Sparfell looks good on that right-hand section as we look. Jumps his way across. Goes on to the next portion of the track. I don't know if Sparfell has got the sprint here to beat the other riders.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bell is still ringing, and now the rider
David Haverdings moving himself up in that blue helmet.
of the race.
Tucked in right on the wheel for the Dutch squad. Fourth place is Arthur van den Boer. Places back is Sil de Brovera. He's looked good as well. He's led across the lap on 1 occasion.
You can see 8 or 9 riders fighting for the positions. Right now in the lead, David Haverdings from Netherlands.
All of these riders want to get a good start in this World Cup. Orbit Sparfell was 3rd last year. Vietzi was 7th. De Broekere was 8th. Van den Eyden was in 10th. David Haverdings on the front now was in 11th place in the World Cup last year. They all want those maximum points. 40 points for the winner. Vietzi right on the wheel of David Haverdings now as they stamp their way out of that little turn. Big moment for these riders to try and take this World Cup victory. Safely up to the top of that little rise, little push down as they try and get as much momentum as possible. So well practiced. So Vietzi, the Italian, pushes again. Oh, Haverdings goes on the inside. Haverdings trying to force this now. He doesn't want to leave this to a sprint. Gilles Simon goes through the picture. So does Floris Haverdings. So it's David Haverdings who goes now with Sparfell on his wheel. Vietzi in the green behind. Can these 3 riders just break away? Well, Tábor always treats us to a great day of racing. Look at that track. So it's Haverdings, Sparfell, Vietzi now, clear gap to the Belgian riders behind. Van den Boer and Van den Berger need to try and do something. There's 4 Belgian riders all in a row now, but they're being left behind by the Dutch, the Italian and the French. And now Haverdings is really pushing this. Vietzi struggling to stay with them, the Italian. Sparfell looks like this might be the opportunity. The Belgians are sprinting flat out to try and come back. Have they left it too late? Did they leave that gap? Haverdings now, another big acceleration by the Dutch rider. What a moment as he goes to the hurdles. Bunny hops the first one, takes the second one. Little bit of a slip of the wheel as he got over it, but he has got some daylight now. Sparfell, though, stamps his way back onto the wheel. The Belgian riders, look at that, 4 of them all in a row, and they're not in the medals right now. Well, the crowd running their way across now towards the finish line. They want to see who takes this victory. Verdings has ridden superbly as he leans the bike left and right through those little twists and turns. Another massive acceleration as Orbin Sparfell tries to get back on terms. Look at all the crowd moving their way across to try and see the riders. So a clear duo now at the front. David Verdings is the rider who's done all the damage. Here comes Vietzi. Can the Italian champion make the junction? Nearly 47 minutes of all-out racing in -4-degree temperatures. And Verdings isn't able to find the acceleration through that turn. Now he manages to do it. Gets out the saddle, starts to push it on again. Orbin Sparfell back onto the wheel. This Frenchman has won the Alpes CZE Tour as well this year. He rode so well in the Giro Next Generation, and Vietzi is still refusing to give in. And now the Frenchman goes to the front. As Verdings just given it a little bit too much. Sparfell had to take the foot. Oh, and a problem for Vietzi there. Orbin Sparfell, 3 in the World Cup last year. He just seems to ride with a very relaxed demeanor. The way that he performs on this bike, everything seems to be within his control. Vietzi has another problem. Verdings tries to go on the inside, takes the inside line, foot out, manages to hold it round that turn. We're not far from the race finish now. Vietzi still trying to get back to them to beat them in the sprint. Flat out through that turn for David Verdings of the Netherlands. We're almost at the line now. The last couple of twists and turns, and another big acceleration by the Dutchman. Is he going to take this victory? Orbin Sparfell trying to come back. They're onto the tarmac now, and it is Verdings who's going to be the first rider through the turn. Orbin Sparfell is not on the wheel. It's going to be a Dutch victory in Tábor, or is it? Because Sparfell is coming back. He celebrates early, but it's a win for David Verdings of the Netherlands. Second Orbin Sparfell, third the Italian champion Stefano Vietzi, and the Belgians all coming together, not on the podium. Fantastic racing by the Dutchman today. He was always involved in the action. He takes the first World Cup of the season. Just under 50 minutes of racing, that final lap, the fastest lap of the race. 7 minutes and 56 seconds for David Verdings. 7:56 is a very fast lap. 24.94 kilometers an hour. Next group of riders coming in, led by Maurice Nebor. Amy is there as well. Stolan Jacek, he shakes his head, and Vas is in 19th place. Verdings then can celebrate. A great performance by him today.
Thank you.
Well, he managed to open up the gap as he made his way into the final turn.
Beautiful slow motion action of the finish line.
A stunning performance by Verdings today.
In the meantime, you can cheer cheer for the other riders coming to the finish in the men under 23 category. We have seen 45
celebration then
riders from
by the
30
Dutchman.
countries of the world, and the fastest was David Haverdings from Netherlands.
Ik heb niks koud.
Je arm is eraf gedaan.
Ja.
Nee, goed jongen.
Ja.
Let's take a look at the results. David Haverdings wins for the Netherlands. Albin Sparfell in second place. Then it was Stefano Vietzi of Italy in third. There's the makeup of the rest of the top 10 with Belgium, Vandenberg, De Broekere, all behind that top 3 placings. We'll let you just digest the rest of the results if there's a rider you've been looking for. Václav Viecek, what a day he had. How many times was he sitting on the deck here in Tábor? He was up there in the early stages though, in the top 3 places. Some fantastic action in the men's under 23 junior World Cup earlier was fantastic. The under 23 men's gave us a splendid race, didn't it? Here's the highlights. Beautiful highlights from today's race. Well, don't forget, today we're going to bring you the women's race and the men's race this afternoon.
For the race, when the riders are ready, we will kindly ask you for your attention for the official ceremony.